Welcome to MJC Learning, dear students. So far, we have learnt about chapter number 1, wherein we have introduced with the concept of microeconomics and macroeconomics. Whereas in chapter number 2, we have learnt about the very important law, that is the law of diminishing marginal utility. And now, gradually, we are going to move to economics third chapter, or you can say chapter 3a, demand analysis. And let us present the first part of it to you. Demand analysis. Originally, the term demand means desire. When you have the desire, you go out in the market and purchase it, or you can say you demand for that commodity. But in economics, this term has certain more points to it. That means demand is not only desire, but it also has two another important aspect. Number one, the ability to pay, that is nothing but by the consumer, and the willingness to pay, that is again by the consumer. Now you must be thinking, yes ma'am, it is the consumer who demands. Correct. So when a consumer is demanding, it will be backed by the three things: the desire to get that commodity, the ability to pay, and willingness to pay. Right? Now let us move on to the definition of demand. It was Benham who has defined demand for us in economics. He says that the demand for anything at a given price is the amount of it which will be bought per unit at a particular price. Okay? Now, demand, which therefore means, is a relative concept. Relative concept, that means demand has relationship with time and price. And in order to make you understand, we have an example which says the commodity, that is, we have taken an example of sugar. The sugar is being bought at rupees 15, and the commodity, or you can say the quantity which is demanded, is 5 kg, and the time period is of a month. Thus, demand is a relative concept and it is related to time and place. Right? Now, we will move on to the next slide, which will state us the demand schedule. Now, what is a demand schedule? It is nothing but a tabular form wherein the various prices and the quantities are mentioned in that table. Okay? Or in simple words, you can say it is a tabular representation of a commodity and how much quantity is demanded at which price is mentioned over there. Now, there are two categories in which a demand schedule is divided. The first one is an individual demand schedule and the second one is the market demand schedule. Let us move on to the very first concept, that is individual demand schedule. It refers to the demand of a commodity from an individual. The term itself says that. Yes, it is self-explanatory. Individual, when an individual demands, right? An individual consumer demands, it becomes individual demand schedule. Now, how is it further explained? It is the amount of a commodity an individual consumer is willing to buy at a given price during a given period of time. See, from our previous slide, we have taken certain concepts back again That is, it is a relative concept. Demand is a relative concept and it is related to time, place and quantity. But we are simply adding one more word, that is an individual consumer. Our picture is also representing that thing. Here is a seller and here is a buyer, or you can say the person who is going to demand that commodity. Okay? Now, we will now understand the concept of market demand schedule. Now, what is exactly the market demand? When there are many people coming together and demanding for a commodity, it is said to be as total demand or market demand. Here we can say that it is the amount of commodity which all the consumers are willing to buy. Very important word, all consumers. In individual demand, we have understood that it is just an individual consumer who is willing to buy at a given price and at a particular period of time. Here there is a slight difference that again over here as well, the consumer is willing to buy at a given price and at a particular point of time. But we have a difference in it, and that is nothing but all consumers, and that is why the term is used as market demand. I hope you have understood both the concepts of individual demand as well as market demand. Now let us move on to understanding the schedule of it. Schedule? Yes, the tabular representation. Now let us move and understand the individual demand schedule. As we have heard earlier that demand schedule is nothing but a tabular representation wherein the commodity, or you can say any particular commodity, is taken into consideration, and that particular commodity, how much quantity is purchased and at which price, that is mentioned in a tabular form. And thus, here when we understand individual demand schedule, we are going to consider again a statement which shows the different amount of a commodity which is demanded by an individual consumer, not the market one, but the individual consumer at different prices at a given time and place. So let us have a look at it. Here we are going to learn about two things: individual demand schedule, and when we graphically represent the schedule, we get the curve, or you can say demand curve. Now, here the commodity is taken into consideration as commodity X, and the price for which is paid in terms of rupees. This is our first one. Okay, first row. Then moving on to the second row, it talks about the quantity demanded, and again we are talking about commodity X, and the quantity is measured in kgs. So when the price is 10 rupees, an individual is going to demand 1 kg of it. When the price reduces from rupees 10 to rupees 8, the individual consumer is going to demand 2 kgs of commodity X. Similarly, when the price reduces from rupees 8 to rupees 6 of commodity X, the quantity demanded of commodity X is 3 kgs. And so on. That means when the price is reduced to rupees 2, the individual consumer is going to demand 5 kg. Now, when you have a look at the same in the graphical form, you get the demand curve. Here we can again see that when the price was rupees 10, the quantity was only 1 kg. When the price reduced to 8 rupees, the quantity demanded was 2 kg, and so on, which shows that the demand curve, or you can say the demand schedule or demand curve, is sloping downwards from left to right. Moving on to the next concept, that is market demand schedule. We have understood about market demand. It was nothing but when all the consumers collectively demand a particular commodity, it is said to be as the market demand. Or in a very simple word, the total quantity of a commodity purchased by all the consumers together at a given time and place, it is said to be as market demand. But when it is in the form of a table as a data, it is said to be as market demand schedule. Okay, now let us have a look at it. Here in this we have price of commodity, and the commodity is X and the prices are mentioned in rupees. Then in this we are going to see that there are three consumers. We have taken consumer A's quantity, how much he has demanded. It is mentioned in this column. The commodity demanded by consumer B is mentioned in this column. And the quantity demanded by consumer C is mentioned in this column. And when you add all three of them, that is A, B and C, will get the C one. That means over here the market demand. Let us have a look at the very first one for your better understanding. When the price of commodity X was 10 rupees, consumer A purchased 5 kg of it. Consumer B purchased 10 kg of it. And the consumer C purchased 15 kg of it. So what will be A plus B plus C over here? 5 plus 10, 15. And 15 plus 15 gives you 30. That is how we arrive to market demand, by adding all the consumers that has demanded for commodity X. And this can be shown graphically as well. And we can see this, that at price 10, the consumer, or you can say the total market demand is 30. That is somewhere in between 20 and 40 comes 30. So today what we have learned, let us go through. We have started up with the meaning of demand, which is nothing but demand, right? Demand refers to nothing but desire plus ability to pay and willingness to pay. Then we have understood the definition of demand by Benham, wherein he stated that demand is a relative concept and it is expressed with reference to time and place, as also it is expressed in terms of the quantity which is demanded. Then we moved on to the demand schedule, which is nothing but a tabular representation, the data which is collected about demand. And two aspects has been considered over here, that is price and the quantity. Then we moved on to the concept of demand, wherein we have learnt that only when a single, or you can say an individual consumer is purchasing a commodity, or you can say he is willing to buy a commodity at a given price and at a given point of time, he is said to be, or the thing is said to be as an individual demand. On the opposite, we have understood that when all the consumers, all the individual consumers are demanding the commodity and are willing to buy at a given price and at a point of time, you can say that to be as market demand. Correct. Then we came across the market demand schedule, which is nothing but the tabular representation showing the different quantities of a commodity demanded by an individual at a different price, at a given time, and at a place. And this is what we have understood, that the demand curve slopes downwards from left to right. Then we have also learnt about market demand schedule, which is again a tabular statement which shows the total quantity. See, we have learnt A plus B plus C, consumer A's demand, consumer B's demand, and consumer C's demand. When we add them up, we get market demand schedule, and when you graphically mention that, you get the market demand curve. So students, let us meet once again after a short while, and till then, keep learning, keep smiling, and hope you all are remembering all the concepts. Yeah? Thank you. Take care. Keep smiling and keep learning.